What's going on, Jackpots family? I'm back with another video. Now this video finna talk about Lil Durk, and it's saying that he is finna get released sooner than we expect and what we know. Now I know everybody going around in circles saying that, you know, it's a lot of snitches and a lot of people that's finna tell on Lil Durk. We got OTF Vonnie, we got OTF Ted, we got OTF DD. I mean, the list just goes on. Y'all know it, you know what I mean? But let's get into this video, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you got some of the hype points, go ahead and hype your boy video up.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk is charged in a for hire plot.
After news of Durk's trial being delayed until May 4th, his lawyers submitted paperwork to have Durk released from jail, while using his jail situation as leverage. Reading, the Chicago rapper's legal team filed a request for a status hearing regarding Durk being detained in a special housing unit without due process since August 29, 2025. Durk is confined to a small jail cell just large enough for a single bed, a toilet, and a sink for 23 hours a day. The filing continues, reading, he does not have access to commissary. He is permitted one phone call a month and no in-person social visits. He was originally placed in the special housing unit as punishment for being in possession of an Apple Watch. However, Durk's attorneys claim that the alleged infraction has still not been reviewed by the unit discipline committee to determine proper disciplinary action, which would normally happen within 5 working days.
I heard that he was in solitary confinement for, I want to say 5, almost 6 months due to this Apple Watch. Now, do I agree with that? Somewhat. Only reason I agree with it is because everybody know you already in there for the wrong. You know what I mean? So therefore, you shouldn't be doing too much wrong, especially if you know you're going to get caught. But I feel like in order to keep somebody sane, I think that 6 months is a long time to have them in a little box. Because only reason I say that is Lil Durk is still not guilty yet, y'all. I know it's hard to believe, but he is not guilty yet. You know, a lot of people say guilty until proven innocent. I'ma stick with innocent until proven guilty. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I feel like that's a long time. That's a long time.
We even heard from inmates in Durk's cell block talking about the situation and him being put into solitary.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically some BS. And right now we're going to show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with
the BS
cell phone. And basically that's not true.
Oh, it's not?
They trying to keep him in a hole. Do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they're trying to make a point because they saying that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
But Durk's team put a message on his story in support of him, saying, crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark out to see who really with you. As it's clear that Durk realized people aren't rocking with him as much anymore. Even academics spoke on how every rapper is flipping sides.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of the went on tour with, did songs with, called you they brother, they twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rappers try to India. These are down low and dirty. And I think this is what, I think Durk right now is thinking that.
They proving that.
I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. And I feel bad for Durk. When King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Free him! Free him! Free him! Oh, nah. Everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free... not Smart. No, free Slime. Durk got locked up. They might give that half a bar. Free Smirk. And they moved the...
No.
I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have sent lawyers. Good for that. But Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning because you locked up.
Academics spoke further on this to say that Durk probably won't be the same type of guy he was before lockup if he ever gets out. Mainly because he was all about loyalty and giving back to those around him, but now they've all left his side.
I ain't gonna cap. I think the only, you know, especially after hearing all these people that switched up on Lil Durk to say they self, I feel like only person that possibly, you know, wouldn't have did that would be King Von. I feel like King Von definitely would have held it down for Lil Durk. He probably be dropping so many albums and so many singles, you know what I'm saying, just to run up the bag and be helping Lil Durk out. Lil Durk will have double the money that he has to put into trying to stay, you know, out of prison for the rest of his life if King Von was still alive, you know. And I think that was his day one. His best chance is gone, you know what I mean, as far as having a real partner on this team. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard the last time he went to court, it was only his family.
Tell y'all, the Durk y'all loved when he was free, if he gets back out again, he'll never be that Durk. I'm gonna tell you why. He done learned a lot of lessons. This is me assuming, nothing he's told me. But the things that he did for others, y'all know when he came on my podcast, right? And he said, man, your Gunna's a snitch. I can't Gunna. Man, that. I don't care. I love Thug. He said that because Thug told him. Yo, what Durk is realizing, Durk is a great soldier, but nobody looked at him like a leader. Durk was willing to move on behalf of the people he's loyal to when they get locked up. When he locked up, they might drop him as a bar in a song, but...
With this going viral, prosecutors took notice of what Durk's lawyers were trying to do. In order to sway people away from feeling bad for Lil Durk, they brought new evidence to the courtroom as they showed a 2022 selfie that Durk took with $1 million in cash. While it looks like he's just flexing, there's more to it. Prosecutors say Durk placed a $1 million bounty on Quando Rondo in 2022. The discovery also shows that defendant Banks used his trusted lieutenants, defendant Wilson and co-conspirator 5, to recruit hitmen to fly to Southern California on August 18, 2022 to take out Quando Rondo. The files continue writing, consistent with Durk's promise to reward co-conspirators. Defendant Wilson solicited hitmen by promising to pay a $1 million reward on behalf of Durk in exchange for flying to Los Angeles to commit the crime. In the evidence file...
So, you take a picture, post it on Instagram for millions of people to see, and they use it on you in court to show that you definitely got $1 million withdrawn at a point in time. We don't know when, but you had $1 million withdrawn.
It also reads, they rewarded co-conspirators other things. Durk was featured in many of the direct participants' music videos and rap lyrics in the months following the crime. One clear example is Durk's song, Block is Hot, which he created as a reward. But they revealed something more concerning when it was written. Durk's trial prosecutors say they have several cooperating witnesses who will testify that he was the real organizer of the passings. This has Durk's team worried that the feds have too many witnesses and snitches against Durk. However, Durk's been going through some personal changes while on the inside. With the news writing, people at Durk's hearing said he looked noticeably thinner and he cut his dreads. With a list of updates which read, judge denied his motion to disqualify. His motion to dismiss for vagueness was denied. His motion for a bill of particulars was taken under advisement, and motion to dismiss count 4 was taken under advisement. A lawyer who took interest in the case gave his take on what the motions being denied really means for Durk.
I'm a criminal lawyer, and I just learned that the rap artist Lil Durk just had his motion to dismiss his for hire case denied. To be honest, I'm not that surprised. Let me tell you guys something. There's only 2 ways that Lil Durk is rocking out of that federal courtroom on 2 feet. A jury of 12 people says that he is not guilty, or President Trump pardons him. There's no other way that Durk is walking out of that court free. That judge is not going to be dismissing any key evidence. He's not going to be dismissing any motions. He's not going to do anything that significantly helps Lil Durk walk out of that courtroom without having a trial. Now, how and why am I so sure of this? Well, here's the first thing I want to tell you. Most federal judges used to be federal prosecutors, exact prosecutors that are prosecuting Durk. A lot of judges used to stand in that very position. Federal prosecutors can be very biased people, and very rarely, once they put on that black robe and become a judge, do they get rid of those biases, okay? That judge very likely probably thinks that Durk is guilty. He just can't be the one to actually say it.
He claims there's no chance that...
Simple as that. A lot of them go through practices to be able to get to the level that they is, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, y'all was prosecutors at one point in time, so y'all job was to send people to prison or to jail for the rest of their life or half of their life, you know. And now that you got a black robe on, you know what I'm saying, with the Hamlet, you know, it's even more easier just to, you know, lean towards a person being guilty versus, you know, trying to understand where they come from, or trying to understand, you know, the situation. So it's a good thing that, you know, people that go through the courts that you had a chance to be able to talk to 12 people that don't know you versus the person that looking at the file, the prosecutors, the DEAs, the circuit clerks. You know, they all in one circle. You know what I'm saying? And let's not forget those public pretenders that act like they, you know, come to hear your case and try to help you out when really all they trying to do is give you more time. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is, man. It just is what it is.
Durk gets the case thrown out without having to do the trial first and prove himself innocent. This left creators reacting to his trial.
Remo, this is my last no jumper. Durk already told me I wasn't supposed to come back up here with that last.
Now look what happened to him.
That man got kids. You talking about look what happened to him.
Definitely not happy about him.
I wouldn't be happy if you go to jail, Adam, because I know you got daughter. Break down.
There's multiple people who are no longer there for their kids as a result of that Durk allegedly called in.
Until they put that on black and white, sir. Stop throwing stuff on a black man who's trying to do something right for the community right now.
The feds have already put out a lot of information about this.
You don't have to put it out. You don't have to put it out. So this is a major platform.
You're not the boss of me. We talk.
See, that's one thing when it comes to Adam 22, man. He act like he all for the rap community. He act like he all for the hip hop. He act like he all for the drama that go on because that's what he brings to his podcast, his dramas. You know what I'm saying? He done had people up there cussing at him, finna fight, finna do this, spin on each other, all types of weird shit. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as somebody ain't able to speak for theyself, he switch up on them. This is what Adam 22 do every time, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to J-Man though. You know what I'm saying? But Adam 22, man, he be on some police type junk. You know what I mean? At this point, I think he definitely, you know what I'm saying? He is like a plant. I feel like he a plant. You know what I'm saying? Y'all drop it in the comments, man, if y'all rock with Adam 22. Some of his podcast things be okay. Some of his shows be all right. But he always turn into real situations. When it's real talk, he always turn into this dude right here. You know, he always go the other way and try to argue with a person that's trying to, you know, make sense out of the situation. And I feel like that's what's going on with this.
Talk about rap on here. I think it is well within our jurisdiction to talk about the fact
that what type of police
has been alleged to have ordered them.
Yes.
Free smirk though.
Free smirk. But also maybe
police platform. There's some police.
Just sit down for a little and decide, hey, maybe I'm not anybody else.
We don't have no proof that.
Well,
we don't.
Regardless of the motions being denied, Durk's team tried for a bond once more, which had Durk's father thinking they were gonna get it. Words from Durk's father have Durk being released on bond. With this being his third attempt, his lawyers made a great offer so the judge can't refuse it.
I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son for the lease for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't pro-prosecutor. He wasn't pro-defense, but he was pro-justice. So he listened to all the evidence and, you know, and he's going to give a ruling in the next few days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue. Family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers. And we thank you. And inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for that we have a good ruling in our favor.
Although this led into a snitch releasing information from an OTF group chat, which resulted in the report from the courtroom, Durk is facing allegations from federal prosecutors that he put hits on O-Block members for not retaliating for King Von. Prosecutors plan to introduce testimony from a witness who claims Durk gave the orders. As the files continue, saying how Durk feuded with Munna Duke over his belief that O-Block members weren't retaliating for King Von's passing, but this had academics in WAC 100 speaking about what's going on with the snitches.
To life by basically saying he's guilty of for hire, and the only thing that, like, yes, some of these things look suspect. Why'd you go there? Why are these people going there? Why'd you send this message? But nothing. There's no message that they got that says where Durk says y'all that Quando yet. Nothing says that.
I'm not. You missing the point. Okay. They got it. They got a witness already cooperating on that. Been had one. We just ain't seen what they said. It's 3 years. One of the cooperating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Too.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't need too much more than that. One of is cooperating. Then in the paperwork, you got the conversation. They say they had it in and out. The other was figuring out how they getting paid.
But what's interesting is one of the snitches the prosecutors have was caught lying, which ruins their credibility. As it reads, Durk could be found not guilty. New court documents reveal the main witness switched up his story. He first claimed there was no bounty. Now he says there was. As sources believed it was Diddy playing with the feds, but it can't be because he's been busy trying to remove himself from the case.
And that's what Diddy did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against Durk. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told Diddy to hire. Diddy's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody. And I ain't hiring nobody. What are you talking about? Why would I hire someone? That's his thing.
Due to this, it was reported, the prosecutors want to use several pages of new evidence against Durk, but this will result in his trial being delayed, which might make it possible for a bond release. But the prosecutors had something prepared to ruin his chances. The feds announced they believe Durk was also behind an attempt on Quando back in 2021 at a gas station in Georgia, as the evidence files claimed there was surveillance footage and witness testimony claiming he was involved in the first attempt. They also note that Durk raps a line saying, "They're on my page like Slide for Vaughn. I know they trolling me." But after the hit on Quando's crew was successful, he said in a podcast, "For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more." But what's interesting is the feds found lyrics that directly lined up to Quando's reaction of the hit happening. Durk rapped the line, "Told me they got an addy, they got the location, go. Look on the news, see your son screaming no."
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Although Durk's lawyers have stuck to the story that the charges against Durk are outrageous, as Durk's lawyer Drew Findling spoke about the case here.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Ak. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
However, the case will be.
So what happened was, it sounds like he's saying that they already had paperwork stating that whatever happened when it came to Quando Rano at the gas station, or I think in LA, they didn't have no name on it, and then all of a sudden they end up having a name. To me, that sounds like somebody started talking. You ain't had no name at first, and then you turn around and now you got a name. One new thing is that a song that I made. So it sounds like either somebody was talking, or y'all took a video that Lil Durk made and the words he used, and then decided that, okay, this must got something to do with him. Now, it's real that the way that he put that together, and he claimed that it was months before time, he's smooth. You know what I'm saying? He real smooth with the words. He knew what he was doing, but you can always add and edit and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And punch stuff in. You know, so I don't know, man. I don't think that's gonna be enough, most definitely, to hold Durk on a murder for hire case.
Become harder to prove Durk's innocent with the addition of a new snitch, as the feds got OTF Vonnie to snitch. People realized his file was updated to say he was no longer in custody with the prison, meaning he was released on house arrest or fully released. And to prove that Vonnie did snitch, he messaged a friend about his plea deal options, and the friend leaked it to the public. As the Vonnie text wrote, "I'm trying to plea out to a 32, which is the base for M for hire. The max is 43, which is life. I'd get -2 points for a plea, -1 point for an early plea, and -2 points for no background. I'll have 27 points, which is 5 to 7 years. I can't go to trial. Don't want them to do me like them other guys." As he's referring to what might have happened to Jam at the end of his message, since no one has heard from him in months since he snitched. But weirdly, OTF Vonnie's father exposed his son for more crimes he committed after he realized he was snitching. Vonnie's dad claimed that Vonnie played a part in taking out King Von and that Durk knew about it.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door, and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, "Is it open?" Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, "Was it open?" This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words. Was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that, another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he.
Academics then questioned his father why Durk would want to backdoor King Von, which makes a lot more sense when you remember Durk and King Von were in a criminal case together. Suddenly, a couple months after Von passed, the charges were dropped and Durk remained free. With Von passing, it essentially got Durk a get out of jail free card.
Why would Durk want Von?
All right, man. Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
Dude was
thing.
a select. He was signing the boys. Von wasn't no.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
I mean, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He got a public defender."
But a tweet went viral that wondered why Durk went on Instagram Live whenever he was connected to a passing, because he was on Instagram Live when King Von, Lil Pab, and FBG Duck all passed. This left Durk fans believing he used Instagram Live as an alibi. If the feds ever questioned his involvement, he could just say he was on Instagram the whole time. But Vonnie's father wasn't done and revealed that his son allegedly orchestrated King Von and Lil Pab's passing.
Oh no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this was on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches of paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages, like that's
yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
But that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
No, that's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that. And with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pab, you orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
But there's another snitch being introduced to the case, which is OTF DD's younger brother, Ted. Rappers realized the name and reacted saying, "Please tell me this isn't real." A report revealed the introduction of Ted.
Okay, so we got OTF DD and OTF Ted, which they is brothers, right? That's what I just heard. If they brothers, then it only makes sense that the older brother would know what was going on. If you gonna tie them in together, but they from the same hood, they from the same area, they locked in with the same person, you can't tell me that OTF DD don't know what's going on just because he trying to separate himself from, Lil Durk. First of all, that's the first thing people do when they, trying to make sure they self is safe. They gonna separate themselves. You know what I mean? And they gonna be like, shit, I ain't got nothing to do with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think it plays out. But that's crazy though. They brothers.
To the case, with it writing, the new Ted body cam footage of him begging to snitch against Durk and members has changed the case. Durk's lawyers submitted paperwork for an extended time on their bond proposal. This raised the question of what Ted said to the feds, because in case you didn't know, OTF DD is Durk's main hitter, so it's likely that DD's brother Ted heard about some of the street stuff that had been going on. Exactly. The craziest part is he wasn't even supposed to be in the case, but he got arrested on a separate charge and is trying to use his street knowledge to get his own charges dropped.
Really?
Sure, yeah. Dude had it. What about that? A man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
He was transported to the police station, and before he even got inside, he was asking to snitch on the people he knows that did crimes.
Come on.
Oh man, that don't make no sense.
Stop it.
I'll tell you about the murder. I swear to God, I'll tell you about the murder.
I'll tell you everything.
Everything. I swear to God, I tell you, I will tell you. Please, please, please.
What is he talking about?
He was placed into a waiting cell, where he continued to wait until an officer talked to him, and it's clear he was willing to tell anything if it meant he could get out.
Hey, see, that's what I'm talking about. Man. Hold on, let's see what this is.
I can't understand it.
Oh, this dude having a whole panic attack, a whole, man, temper tantrum. Bro, get up out of here. That's the end of the video, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe that, you know, it's a chance that Lil Durk actually set up, you know, King Von. You know what I mean? All because, you know, King Von was supposedly and probably would have surpassed him when it came to the rap game. But we're going to leave it at there, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you got some of the hype points, go in and hype your boy video up. And until next time, I'm out.